Brent Stetler, Jerry Fawcett,
Yes.
Walt Minnick, Mindy Joe, Craig
Yes.
Kaczynski.
Here.
And I'm going to turn this meeting over to Tim.
All right. Hey guys, my name is Tim Carson. I'm here from the North Central Indiana Regional Planning Council. We are essentially a nonprofit that works for Clinton County and 5 other counties. We do grant writing free of charge for any municipal or nonprofit entity within any of the counties that we work in. So currently we're working on a stormwater planning grant for the town of Kirklin. Essentially what that's going to do is get you funding for doing a full engineering study of the flooding and slow drains in your existing stormwater system, and figure out your best course of action for reducing and getting rid of all this flooding and slow drains. So I've got a spiel I've got to read just for the public record, after which we'll open it up to questions, and you can ask me to clarify any of the super fun technical language I'm about to throw out to you. All right, so the planning grant is a grant program administered by the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs, or OCRA. It's funded with Federal Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG dollars. These grants support a variety of projects that benefit either low to moderate income persons or eliminate slum or blight in communities. In order to be eligible for the Community Development Block Grant Program, we need a lead applicant that is a unit of government, which can be a city, county, or an incorporated town. In this case, the town of Kirklin is serving as the lead applicant. The project must meet one of the national objectives and be an eligible activity under the CDBG program. It must comply with applicable state and federal laws and regulations. The eligible national objective in this program is a benefit to low and moderate income persons. The minimum for that is at least 51% of beneficiaries, and based on a recently completed income survey, the town of Kirkland's low and moderate income percentage is 53.85%. There are approximately $1.5 million available each year through this program. The maximum award amount for a single utility planning grant is $30,000. The town of Kirklin is currently seeking $27,000. A local match of at least 8% of the total project cost is required. Additional in-kind contributions can be counted as local match up to 5% of the total project cost, with a maximum of $25,000. The community development and housing needs of the applicant include planning for stormwater. Proposed activities include stormwater planning to assess at a minimum existing facilities acquisition issues, identification of program and service needs, cost analysis, and implementation and maintenance recommendations. The proposed amount of funds to be used to benefit low and moderate income persons is $14,539.50 based on that percentage from the recent income survey. The local funds to be used for this project total $5,000, which will be derived from the local stormwater utility operating item. There will be no displacement of any persons or businesses associated with this grant. The grantee must also respond to any written comments that are received prior to the public hearing process. Those were in the public notice. Did the clerk's office receive any written statements or comments?
We have, are you talking about the questionnaires?
No, the public notice included a blurb that if anybody wants to submit any written comments to be read aloud during today's meeting.
Negative.
All right. Okay, so our application submission deadline is July 10th of 2026, which is next Friday. If anyone here would be willing to write an additional letter of support and has not already done so, I would love to take that from you, and preferably by about July 8th. The award announcement is estimated for August or September or so of 2026. For some reason, they stopped letting us know when they would announce those, but typically it's about a month to a month and a half. We have a sign-in sheet. Everyone here is signed in. At this point, we can take public comments and questions. Does anybody need me to translate any of the things that you just heard? Or have any questions, or did anything
Can
jump
you
out
tell
at
me
you?
what the title of that was that you just read aloud in its entirety?
There isn't really a title. Those are just our talking points for grant writing.
Okay. Explained it all, okay.
They change up a little bit here and there. There might be a couple of different details between planning grants and construction grants, for example. But
Okay.
it's mostly the same stuff.
At our previous board meeting, it was brought to our town attorney's attention that the county has been taking Kirkland's tax money, the $5 storm drain, or the Clam Rock ditch money,
Mm-hmm.
and putting it into field tile for farmers. And our town attorney said that he was gonna look into it, that that money was supposed to be here. Each place is taxed in the spring, your first installment, $5 for that to maintain that.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly it's not there.
Terry, any idea what they're talking about?
Yes, when Mindy, Billy, and Maureen was it the city council
The
the
county.
county council meeting, they did say, basically what I got out of it was that they use the funds and prioritize them to farmland. Is that what you kind of got out of it
Well,
too?
that first came from the commissioner meeting, because that's where Dan Sheets said, we don't have the funds.
Right, they
And
said,
then we got into more detail when we followed up with the county council.
So the residents have to pay a fee in addition to their regular stormwater fee. Is that what you're saying?
It's on
A county fee.
each property is $5.
right,
in
even the
spring.
town, we pay them
They
too.
They don't charge you in the fall, but the first installment is $5 for every parcel here in town.
Huh.
And all of a sudden that money's been used by the county instead of for Kirkland.
And I think that's why, like, when we went to them to help find these storm drains, I think that's why the county is like, we have no problem with, let's find these, and they're gonna pay the money to help.
Cause they
Get
can't
this
even
done.
locate their county tiles
So
here.
they don't know where the county tiles are at in town, so that's why they had no problems with assisting with us, so.
Does everybody know that they're assisting?
Well, if we've announced it, I mean,
Okay.
if they come to our meetings, I mean.
Right,
But I mean, does the council knows that the county did eventually?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
they're, in a different contract with them, they're on
Yes.
their own contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Commonwealth is doing that, not the town.
Right.
So we split it off,
Mhm.
so.
And I'm assuming, you know what they say about assuming, that if whatever they find, hopefully the county then will maybe contract with Commonwealth
For construction.
for construction,
I
and they'll
mean-
find them money, yeah.
Depending on what they find, we could theoretically take the county's findings and the plan that is gonna get generated for Kirkland and theoretically do a county project as opposed to a Kirkland project and fix your infrastructure in the counties at the same time with one big grant. If that turns out to be a better plan of action for the town than doing their own independent grant.
Which would have the county be paying for it instead of our ratepayers? I mean, wouldn't we have to pay for our own portion?
Leave that out in the project development.
I mean, that'd be great, you know? I don't know that the county would fix Kirkland's drains.
It would probably be a joint effort, so Kirkland would probably be paying some of the local match and the county would be paying some of the local match. Or you could do two separate projects. If it was more feasible to do them separately, you could do one county project to address the drainage out in the county
And
first.
from what I understand, they have to be involved with Boone County too, because
Right.
their storm drains go into Boone County, and I don't know how all that connects, but it has to do with the watershed out there. So that might make it murky.
I've had murky studies before.
You've had
Okay.
murky, you like murky? I don't like
I mean, I don't like murky, but.
I don't know how any of our drains could go into Boone County.
Like
It
I
all
said,
goes out that way and goes
it
in
goes
the
out that
Clam
way.
Rock ditch and then goes.
It was that commission, which meeting was it that they were saying that they have to be involved?
It
with
was the
Boone County?
commissioner meeting.
It was because Boone County and Clinton County share a watershed.
Okay,
That's-
No drains cross
It's the
county
watershed,
lines.
yeah.
It's just that they share a
but
watershed.
they said they have to be
And
involved.
Boone
Right.
County has the upper hand on that, and basically Clinton County can't do anything unless Boone County says they
Mm,
can.
well, there you go.
That was at the commissioner meeting, they told us that, so.
So have we applied for this for the past 3 years and just not gotten it?
We've applied for it twice in the past, year and a half.
This is our third time.
You were here.
Right, but I mean, I didn't know how many times exactly.
You were getting some deja vu?
This is
yeah.
the third
Yes, our third time.
attempt.
Yeah.
We're desperate to help our residents,
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know when you started, but there was a large overhaul in the way they do planning grants at OCRA. Roughly, I wanna say beginning of 2025.
Yeah, there were some changes, yeah.
There were some drastic changes and they've continued to get worse and worse.
Personnel and everything.
So everybody's been scrambling to react to those changes. So I'm hoping at this point we've figured out what their new plan of action is.
Okay.
There's a community liaison that's attached to every county in the state that's part of OCRA. And he's been also helping us. In fact, we're meeting with him next Monday. And we're gonna review some of the changes that we've made and some of the future planning. That's what our phone call's about.
Okay. Oh, is this with Gary?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, that's part of those new processes. That didn't used to be a thing.
Okay, so I have another meeting Monday at like 3:30.
You do so much extra work.
So,
Thank you for missing work yesterday to be here.
He was gonna come in person and I was like, I don't think Mindy wants to miss work again, so we could do a virtual.
that helps me a lot.
I think
'cause-
she and I would both appreciate that. 'Cause
Yeah. Cause I can jump, I think he might do a Teams meeting. I can jump on a Teams meeting or something and it's easy.
So that's gonna review what's called your community resiliency score, which is essentially how well you do with things like economic downturns or natural disasters.
Do you know if we did that last time? Cause I think that might sound familiar.
You might have.
I might have done that the last time, cause I think I remember doing that. Yeah, that you said that. I was on the call with maybe Amy too.
Yeah.
Amy and Gary.
I'll be on the phone with you too.
Okay.
Essentially,
So-
we're going to discuss a lot of ways that the community could improve your resiliency, including projects that are in the works, not just this stormwater project, but in general.
Okay.
And things you could do that you aren't currently working on. And then I'm going to take what we discuss, I'm going to work it all up into a letter that's your resiliency action plan.
Okay.
And then you and I are going to review it and you'll sign it and we'll include it in the application.
Okay.
So we'll talk essentially about like community development projects that you currently have going on. Other things
Okay.
you're doing, there's like 7 points in there. I can send you a breakdown of what we're gonna discuss if you wanna read it ahead of time.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do.
Then if I've got any questions, I can also ask Billy anything if I want to ask him anything, if he's got any ideas, so that'd be great.
Back to your previous question about the county, I would say at this point, the county's moving forward with studying what they need to study. Kirkland's hopefully gonna move forward with what they need to study. I'm available to work with Kirkland and or the county both to help get that situation fixed.
I just wonder how many years have they been doing this with Kirklin money?
I don't know.
I don't think it's just Kirkland. I think it's like they use probably all from all the county towards it.
And that might be so, but still, Kirkland money, if it's against the law to do that, why are they getting away with it?
I don't know that
That
it's
was
against
his
the
exact
law.
words sitting
Who-
down
who?
there.
Jay?
Jay?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And that was brought up, and I explained that he thought they assessed us twice a year. I said, no, it's just your spring taxes. But,
I think he
at
was
the
gonna,
edge of town
I
here,
think he was gonna check on it. I don't know what he found
at the edge
out.
of town here where the brewery thing is, 20 feet out into that field, there was a riser there. And for 20 years, it was a county ditch. Now it's not on the map. And it went to the Reinhardt ditch out here. It's called something else. Went straight east to it. And now it's been farmed over. There's so many things west of town. There's been so many places that's broke down and been farmed over. That's a lot of our issue. It can't go nowhere. And I bring it up for how many years now? Just go out 38 here. You get to the town limit sign on this side of the road, down in the bottom of that ditch. There's multiple holes that big around and that deep. And you can look down there and see the old clay tile. The state says it's not theirs. Well, it's their responsibility. It's in the right of way. The county says it's not their ditch. The town of Kirkland says it's not their ditch. Guys that years ago run cameras, it comes clear to the county road here and goes under that road into town. It belongs to somebody. They tried to blame it on Dr. Roth. Dr. Roth's field ain't got nothing to do with that. He does have a big sinkhole in his field there, one part of his field. The guy that's farming it has farmed over around it. He hasn't farmed over it. But fixing things out that way. Right here in town, this old church down here, this next street over, at Highway 38. I had that guy hold his sump pump bulb up and told him to hold it there. There's a 6-inch tile going out towards the alley for 5 minutes. And it had been raining. water that deep and that 6-inch tile just kept running into that pit. So it's plugged somewhere north of him.
Right.
There's so many little things that could be done to help everything.
And that's like that's almost like a street, isn't that like a street over from Capstone?
Yes.
Like the
Yeah,
church?
it's this way, yeah, it's
So
from
I
the
could see-
apartments and the trailer park.
I could see where,
So it's plugged somewhere going that way. Well, every time you get torrential rain, well, you've been around, you see in Chicago, water this deep in streets and everything. If it can't get away quick enough, then it'll get away. And every time it rains hard somewhere, you have that. Walking in water that deep in the parking lot down there is nothing compared to a lot of this stuff. It's an issue, sure. But down there at the west end of their parking lot, in the middle of their parking lot, there's a drain. And it flows. And I've been down there and see water flowing so slightly to the west. That next house on the right-hand side as you're leaving, where their property line meets that, there's a structure there, and on a dry day, you'll catch that thing being clear full, the water not moving. Little simple things would help a lot. Now, years ago, we poured some dye in that structure there in that people's backyard, and it came out over here where we put a box in, and the blue dye come out there. Some old timers will tell you, no, that ditch goes that way, then goes this way. Well, how'd that blue dye come out over there? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got an opinion.
Sure.
But there's out here multiple places that big around and that deep.
Well, the good news is the engineers are not allowed to come back and say, we can't figure it out. So they have to give you a minimum of 3 options that you can pursue to fix the flooding issues.
And out there at, what's in the Dan? What's the guy's name that bought the lady who died of cancer out here?
Dan Carlisle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's flooded back in that backyard forever.
Right.
And, but wasn't there a tile located in there that was a county tile, and they were supposed to come back and do something? The guy that helps on the dump trucks and such.
Mike Henry or,
No, works for Metzing or some. I can't think of his name. Anyway, he
Clinton
run a
Poole.
camp. Who?
Clinton Poole,
Poole,
his dad,
dad.
Brian
Okay.
Poole.
Yeah, Brian. They run some cameras and such, and it broke down or plugged somewhere, and
Yeah.
how
So we
hard
just-
is it to run your camera out and see where it's at, dig it up and fix it? You know, without spending thousands and thousands of dollars, you know. We've got a nice backhoe here in town.
Is the public hearing officially closed, or?
or do we keep, how long do we do the hearing?
As long as everybody's got comments.
Okay, then we can keep talking, okay.
I
We
got
didn't
a lot
know.
of
Thought I would
comments.
ask.
Got a lot of
Yeah.
comments.
I thought,
And I've
yeah,
been around here, I'm 77 years old, I've been around here the biggest part of my life. And I've seen things. Down here where my son lives, when he went to buy that property there to build a new house, I said, Jerry, I've seen people swim in where your backyard would be. And so Dave Fruits run the stuff for the town, and he told me, he come down there, he said, well, you got a backhoe, and you can do this stuff. Put your box back there in your property and then run a line up here and I'll hook it to the town and it'll drain it. And it drains it great now. He's got some pockets, but nothing. Down where I used to live, south end of town, I got a video of George Biddle going through the field behind me in a canoe. Yeah. And we've done work out there from end of town clear down to the church. Church basement used to flood out. We've done little things that's really helped. A lot of it's just common sense stuff.
Is the video on your phone, or is it like an old
It's an old VCR.
VHS tape?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's been.
I was gonna say if it's on your phone, send it to me. I'll see if I can include it in our application.
That's been 35 years ago, maybe 40 years ago. But they used to flood so bad that whole end of town, and but it's not bad at all. Now the pockets in her yard gets water, and my son does too. But so much of that, every little things we've done. Marvin Henry was involved with down here at the very last street in town. They run a camera in that collection there over, and it comes straight through one of my yards and went straight to that utility pole on Ohio Street and stopped. Now, when they set that pole, did they cut that in two? And then it comes from the church, the Christian church down here, down the street here. They run it and it comes all the way to about there. So there's so many little things we can do ourselves that would help immensely. And fixing that stuff west of town would be a big thing. I will say, I don't see water stand in it, but the holes keep getting bigger and how much dirt and debris
Sure.
before it starts plugging things. Go out here at the edge of town, where there's a brick house, looks like it's sitting sideways, but it's true because the road ain't true, east and west. It goes through, it comes across 38 and goes right through the middle of that front yard and dumps out into that McClam Rock ditch. And it's open and flowing. You go out there when it's raining hard and see it going. But how long's all those other little things gonna add up to a plug that?
Right.
You know, there's a structure right next to Bill Brock's driveway. He's got the house way back off the road. It's got a Kirklin, Indiana lid on it, but nobody says it's ours. But it's got a lid on it. It says Kirklin, Indiana on it. Oh, there's so many things, and they add up. The little things add up. Welcome. Put your name right here and a $20 bill, buddy.
$20.
How about just a name?
I'll do a name.
Yeah.
You moved out on us, didn't you?
Moved out?
Yeah.
No,
You didn't sell your house?
I just closed on mine, but I'm moving back by the apartments.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I thought, who was it? Kenny Stevens' daughter bought
Yeah,
it.
she bought mine.
Yeah, she's a good girl.
Did you have anything to add to our flooding issue discussion?
I was just coming up to see what you guys were discussing.
Flooding.
What did you
Flooding,
guys,
yes.
what was the final decision when you guys were behind, what was his name?
Dan?
You run a camera?
We ran a camera up by the apartments. There was some roots starting to grow through one of the pipes up there at the front corner. We couldn't really get our camera through over 20, 30 feet, but we tried a couple different places on back at the very end of town, and they look clear. But up there towards the apartment, it's got some sediment in the bottom of it. It's got some roots in it. But there's not really too many access points to be able to get in there and see it from the apartments back to where the riser is, back almost Walker's place. So
What, did you try there at the end of their parking lot where that structure's in that backyard? Could you go west on it?
that's a different one, I think. I looked in the structure at the front, back behind Jimmy Stewart's place.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, a lot of people.
I looked
don't
in
know.
there, and that tree right there was starting to grow through the tile a little bit. It's not very big roots, it's just
A
pencil
little
thin
bit, okay.
through that one.
But you couldn't go on west from there.
We found a riser west of there, but we can't. What we sent into the county was that we could go 20 or 30 feet with our camera. I mean, that's just what we could do with what we had, but from what we saw, we sent it in to Dan and he made the final decision on what is happening back there. So,
Well, I noticed that structure there in Jimmy's backyard will stand full of water, and in the parking lot, their structure will be dry.
yeah, just from what I could see, there was still a pathway for water to flow.
Just not enough.
Just don't know where. I couldn't find the blockage. So that's what I sent in to Dan, and that's what he reviewed it. I don't know where it went from there. He
Okay.
just asked us to look. So that's what we gathered with that.
And I was just telling Billy and Craig about that old church that they're fixing up. I was in the basement of it, let's say a week ago, and turned the sump pump on and held it on. There's a 6-inch tile that goes from that west wall east to the alley. Water, that much steady flow for 5 minutes, never let up, just kept, and it wasn't raining or nothing.
Yeah.
So from out there, if it goes north down the alley, or is it plugged from there? I mean, you know,
Yeah, I don't,
there's so many places where you could jump different areas and find
Which is why we need this planning grant.
and run a
There-
jetter through it.
yeah, there's so many different blockages happening, and these county tiles they're doing all they can do. I
Someone
mean,
said they were 100 years old.
Oh, some of them are.
I think it was at least 100 years.
I've
Yeah.
seen.
At least 100 years.
Yeah.
That was, I think that was
The
during,
at least part.
during our interviews, it was at least 100
100
years.
years
We're not
old.
entirely
I'm
sure.
getting a lot of jobs. I'm with the new sewer systems. They have a perimeter drain around them and they're hooking them into the county tiles. And then the farmer's going through and laying tile in, and they can cut right through that county tile and don't have to, they're not responsible. So then I'm going back now, then we have to come up with a different plan to get rid of their on their perimeter.
Well, and that's a lot of our stuff that we do with the county is patchwork on the county tiles, and
Yeah.
that's the same thing we're seeing. I mean, it's just farmers are patching into them, and none of these county tiles are set up for this much water.
And most of the tiles in town are too small as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
if
mean,
you
I've
get-
seen 4-inch drains, 6-inch drains, and your minimum has got to be 12. But I mean, if it only serves like 1, 2, 3 buildings, I mean, a 4 and a 6 would work. But I've seen 4 and a 6 carry multiple areas. And
Right.
it's just doesn't-
Yeah, because when we get
it's too
torrential
small.
rain, it's coming up from the storm drains, coming up in the basements.
Well, it's just like the tiles that Brian and them went in there in that structure there on the left-hand side of the road.
Yeah.
6 or 8 max, and it should be no smaller than a 12, depending on, based upon what it's serving. Because everything from Sunshine Manor and Capstone all comes into that one, and then
Yeah, just, yeah.
The 1 6-inch you said is taking all the water from both of those.
as much as it can. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what the tiles aren't set up for this much.
You know, I feel like there's communities
Surface
probably all
water.
over the US that put them in decades ago, and growth has happened, and a lot of people are probably in the same situation we are.
And weather has changed.
Well, back then there was no regulations. You just did what you could afford.
Right, but now,
Whatever
we're
you
trying
had on
to
the truck at the time.
modernize
Done by
it.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a utility study where they determined that there was a farmer who, for some reason in his head, thought that pouring gravel into the tiles was the best way to help stop flooding.
Mm.
I'm not sure why he thought that. But they essentially came back and their first plan of action was to get out and dig all of the gravel out of the tiles to see how well they actually worked. Because their assumption was they'd collapsed until they got a camera in there and said, well, these tiles are all full of gravel.
Well, didn't you say that the state really put something on 421 down here, some kind of gravel?
Yeah, instead of allowing anybody to repair it,
It's
when
filled
that
in.
sump pump, all they did was just dump 53s in it and then put asphalt over the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a sinkhole on 421, that's how they fixed it,
Mm-hmm.
so,
And that's what's giving us a headache with down there by the,
Excel.
I guess it didn't flood before that.
Not this bad.
Mm.
Well, it didn't flood at all until the sinkhole.
I thought it did a little bit in the alley,
No,
did it not?
when the
Okay.
tile collapsed is when the sinkhole
Okay.
came about. And then, I think it was a Saturday or whatever. Anyway, the state came out, did an emergency repair, and all they did was just dump 53s in it and put some asphalt over the top
Which
of it.
fixed their problem, but
Yeah, it
created
fixed the
one for
road, and
us.
it created another one for us.
And is that the one at the south side of the town that's doing all the
Mhm.
problem with that business?
I got some sheet metal from him and I went to pick it up after the rain.
There's
I
a lot.
couldn't get out of my vehicle anywhere in his parking lot without walking through water,
And
even
it-
right
and
up to the building.
And it's done some damage to the entrance.
It
to
is,
the
that
building.
Yeah, there's
new
a lot.
addition that he's got there is rotten now. I don't know if we got a sump pump, but I was looking in his pit. I mean, if he wants that water out of there, I mean, you could put a sump pump in there with one of those, flat blue hoses after the rain, or have it in there before the rain and put it out the back over into the field.
I was gonna say, you put it up front, so it come right back.
Yeah,
in.
out the back over the field, just so he can have business as
Yeah.
usual, but
Yeah.
it was, that's the first time that I really seen
But
it
then is
at
it
its
gonna
full.
flood another area that's not currently flooded?
It'll go off into the back behind the gas station area back there. I mean, yeah, it's gonna put water
Isn't there a
out there.
storm drain behind him?
Way behind,
Yeah,
that's the one behind Burl Tharp. It runs,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then there's one behind Marathon. I think the one from Marathon goes across the highway, and then there was another one that goes down along behind Burl Tharp's house. There's a huge structure out there behind Burl Tharp's.
Yeah, town put
It's
that
part
in
of the county
years ago.
tile, but yeah.
Yeah.
And those-
And that helped drain the church and everything.
Yeah.
And that field hasn't flooded like that since. Of course, we haven't had heavy snow all winter long. Several years ago, we had some good snow, and then that spring it rained and rained. And then a lot of farmers around here couldn't even farm that year. It's never dried up. But we haven't had nothing like that in so long. But like I say, the little things that we've done over the years has helped immensely. But there's so many little simple things. Open it up, let it go. Like where he was just talking about Jimmy Stewart's backyard there. Why ain't that draining on? The tile's there, and if it's got small tree roots in it, how much, paper cups and stuff like that gets washed down in there, next thing you know, it's blocked.
I think he's volunteering to be part of the water planning committee.
Uh,
When we get an engineer in here, the first thing they're gonna do is wanna meet with people in the public that know about the flooding issues to get feedback on where the issues are and what existing infrastructure is here, so.
We've had, stormwater get into sanitary sewer around here for years on North Old Hyatt. I've seen toilet paper shooting up out of the weep hole but that's been taken care of.
You guys just did a.
That's our I&I project.
I haven't seen nothing like that in years.
Good.
But there's an issue, for sure. I don't know, just like, I keep harping on this out here, when somebody accepts some responsibility, you fix it. A child can fix a field tile, there's nothing to it. Nobody wants to say it's theirs, it's gotta belong to the town, it comes into town. Somebody laid that tile through town and out there and into the McLean Rock ditch. But they're trying to say it belongs to the farmer. That don't belong to that farmer. It's in the low part of the ditch. And I've brought it up so many times. Years ago, people used to ride their horses to town, riding that low part. The horse will break his leg now. And a safety issue. If there's a wreck out there, somebody might fall in one of them holes and hurt yourself, and then the dark trying to help somebody. I tell them, if you ain't gonna fix it, at least make it safe. You can't put nothing ahead of safety. Nobody wants nothing to do with it. And there's multiple holes that big that goes clear down, you can see the tile. You gotta start somewhere.
I'm in Zionsville today doing a dewatering job, and they got, I have to go into one of their 12-inch tiles. And it's the 12-inch, solid core on the inside, but it's the black corrugated,
Yeah,
The-
double wall.
the heavy
Yeah.
duty, the double
Yeah,
wall.
Double wall.
Yeah. And I'm dewatering one of them big homes in Zionsville. That's my job today and tomorrow.
Did you guys have any more questions or comments for Tim before we close the meeting, or sometimes we're
I'm
getting
not,
off
I'm not an
topic.
engineer, I'm not here to brainstorm, unfortunately.
So I'm just
If
wanting
they-
if we got any more questions or concerns for him, just
we'll keep our fingers crossed they don't pass us up this year, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best to make sure that doesn't happen.
I know you are, thank you.
Any other comments or questions before we close the meeting? So, anything else, Tim? Or
Nothing I
okay,
need to do.
we're gonna close the meeting then.